Good evening to you and all watching. Welcome to the Daily Dose Letter Q. Haha. Today was rather interesting, and I want to introduce you to two statements, both of which are linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. Number one, quinine. Number two, quarantine. Yes, and let's get started. Quinine. It's an extract found from the bark of the chicona tree, which is usually was found in Peru, Western Africa, even up to this side of East Africa. We do have not chicona, but we have quinine-based barks on our trees. They've been used to treat malaria. What else? Yeah, mostly malaria has been the primary treatment for quinine long time ago, and later on different varieties of extracts of quinine were used, like chloroquine, hydrochloroquine, and all the others were used to treat malaria, and subsequently they've also been used to treat lupus. In the current day and age, one of the suggested treatments for COVID-19 was hydrochloroquine with Z-Pak and zinc. Tests have been done left, right, and center, and the results are inconclusive, mostly bordering to non-effective. However, the court of public opinion is still out there concerning the effectiveness of quinine-based treatments for COVID-19. I'll put a link in the description for you to check on the story of quinine, and also a link to a study that has been done about hydrochloroquine, Z-Pak, and zinc. Second word is about quarantine. Now, quarantine is the restriction of movements of goods and people intended to reduce or prevent the spread of diseases and pests. We have quarantines in foot and mouth disease. We have quarantines in COVID-19, of course. We had quarantines through biblical times for lepers, and so on and so forth. Some famous quarantines are like in 1665, the village of Ivan was quarantined due to bubonic plague. In 1918, East Samoa was quarantined due to the flu pandemic. In 1972, Yugoslavia was quarantined due to the smallpox outbreak. Quarantine actually comes from the word quarantena, which was used in the 14th and 15th centuries in Venice to indicate 40 days, which was the period that all ships were to be isolated during the Black Death plague epidemic. It followed the Trentino, which was the 30-day isolation period, and it was first implemented in the Republic of Ragusa, Dalmatia, which is modern-day Dubrovnik in Croatia. It's good to know where these things came from. Quarantine here today is usually 14 days, 7 to 14 days, but in those days it was 40 days. And as we go on fighting and beating COVID-19, you are urged at many times, should you travel, should you have a high exposure risk, to quarantine yourself, like self-quarantine. Once again, in the description, there is a very good Wikipedia article covering the whole story of quarantine, its history, some people with very extraneous quarantine measures, and so on and so forth. And I urge you all to read them and find out what it's all about. You don't just say no quarantine, self-quarantine. Know where the words came from, where the context comes from, and what you should do about it. I think and I feel that we are on the brink of beating COVID-19. As we've gone through the last few letters, we have found everything we've touched, everything we've talked has been to beat COVID-19. And I urge you to keep on the fight. Let's go on a little longer, and very soon we shall be looking at COVID-19 in our rearview mirror, saying that we have finally beat COVID-19. Therefore, I leave you with words of encouragement that I want to see you tomorrow as we deal with the letter R. And that is going to be about remdesivir. Welcome, see you tomorrow, and God bless.